Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There's the brand new single from Black Star Riders. It's called Ain't the End of the World from their upcoming album called Another State of Grace right here on Rock and Metal Revival.
Right off the bat, remember when we first listened to it? We're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's them.
That's them.
That's the sound.
That's the sound.
Those harmonies, I love them. Just can't get enough of those.
And we want to welcome to Rock and Metal Revival, Scott-Gorham. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. How you guys doing?
Good.
Outstanding. Scott, we've got to hear two cuts off the new CD, Another State of Grace. I guess what I want to know is we've been Black Star Riders since the first album, since All Hell Breaks Loose. How do you think the progression has come since that 2013 release for Black Star Riders?
What was the question again?
How do you think the progression of the band has gone since 2013?
Well, in the very beginning, the very first album was we were actually we thought about doing a new Thin Lizzy album until I just said I can't do that. Everything I'd ever done with the name Thin Lizzy on it had been Phil Lynott sitting right there in the middle, and really the thought of trying to go out, write another album and record another album under that name just didn't sit with me at all. So what we had done, we had already decided, we'd already written all these songs, and there's a couple of them, I will admit, had this kind of Thin Lizzy-ish kind of flavor to it. But, since then, we're on that was our first album. We're on our fourth album now. And I think if you listen to it, you see that Black Star Riders really does stand on its own two legs rather than kind of leaning on the whole Thin Lizzy thing.
Yeah, exactly. And now for this album, I see that you have two new members in the band. Tell us about them and how they fit into the making of the new album.
Well, yeah, new drummer, Chad Saliga. Great. He just fit right in. Jimmy DeGrasso said he had to go. So as soon as he left, really, Chad Saliga slipped straight in, not missing a beat. He actually got what we were doing. We'd already been out on a couple of tours with Chad, so he got the lay of the land pretty easily and pretty quickly. But then we've got Christian Martucci, who's out with Stone Sour, and when Damon Johnson, felt he needed to spend more time at home because, Black Star Riders were just kind of always out on the road. He just wanted to spend more time with his family. So Christian got word of this, sent a video in, and we all took a look at this guy and went, yeah, man, this guy's cool, So once again, he came in. We didn't miss a beat, and it just became another really good writing partner. So the whole atmosphere really could have been horrible, but in fact, it turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise with these two new people who are just injecting this great new fresh blood into the band.
Now, I got a chance to see the new video for the State of Grace video.
Right.
And I like the Dean Fine V he's playing, and then you're playing a Black Strat, which to me looks weird, dude. You're like the Les Paul guy. How'd you go with the Strat?
There, a lot of that is green screen, and I brought my Les Paul down, but it was too shiny, and it reflected the green onto my guitar, and I was just happened to have my Stratocaster there that was taken someplace to get fixed. And that was just dull enough to pass the grade. So that's why you see me with the Strat.
Okay.
Good spotting, though.
Yeah.
Hey, now I see that you and Ricky were out doing some Thin Lizzy dates in honor of one of my favorite Thin Lizzy albums, Black Rose, turning 40 this year.
That's right.
I mean, it's hard to believe it's been 40 years already. How have those dates went so far, Scott?
No, those are great. Yeah, to think of 40 years ago we did that album. Oh, my God, But, yeah, it could have been a thing where, we could have gone out and done 10, 15 shows or whatever, and I especially decided, no, let's just keep it down to 4 or 5. don't want to make this another, career. I've already done, the whole Thin Lizzy thing. But, I did want to, honor the Black Rose album, and especially my friend Phil, who has been gone now for 30 years. So I just wanted to pay homage to both of those things, but not in a really extensive way, but just kind of more of in a poignant way. So it was 4 festivals. We went out and headlined 4 festivals, 2 in England and 2 in Europe, and we finished those. It went great. We had a great time. We had Tony Sanders from Mastodon on bass.
Nice.
And Scott Travers on drums from Judas Priest,
Oh, wow.
Both of those guys were great. They're huge Thin Lizzy fans, and we had a great time for the 4 shows. And, obviously, those 2 guys, they don't get to play a lot of Lizzy music, and they were kind of busting me to get out and play more Lizzy shows. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future with that. But from now on, it's and for the rest of the year and the beginning of all next year, it's flat out Black Star Riders.
I got a chance to see you guys with Saxon on your last tour, the U.S. and over in Milwaukee, and that was a great show. Are you guys working on going to get over to the U.S.? I know you got a European tour coming up with Black Star Riders, but are you going to try to get back over to the U.S.?
Something we would love to get over and, play for, the American fans. As it is right now, we've got, it's about a 2-month tour starting in October here. So if we can get over to America in 2020, we will absolutely do it. We are an American band. Everybody in the band is American, but we just happen to be very, very popular in the UK and Europe. So, band-wise, we kind of figure Europe right now is kind of home country. You guys know yourself. You go where you're loved.
Exactly.
So, we're trying to find the love in America right now. So hopefully, soon enough, we'll find some love and be able to come over and do what we do in Europe in America.
So being a guitarist and the technology today compared to back in the day is like just light years. What's your favorite new technology, like tuners or whatever, or pedals or anything like that you're
something. Yeah, you say that. Yeah, there's a million pedals out there and a lot of different amps that you can go through. But I'm just flat out old school. I've got my my Les Pauls that I drag around with me all over the world. I've got my Marshall 100-watt tops. I'm pretty sparse on the ground with pedals. I like a little bit more natural sound. There's a little bit of chorus going on. You got a bit of wah-wah, a little bit of delay, and that's kind of it. To me, that's where the the real punch and the feel comes from is being probably a little more natural rather than the process sound, I guess you want to say, that some of the guys get and who use it very, very successfully. But I am more, like I said, I'm the old school guy. I love that kind of sound, and I just kind of stick with it.
Well, it's worked, that's for sure, because I'm hooked on it. I love the way your guitar sounds, and I know I know most of it comes from you, But do you have a favorite Les Paul that maybe just doesn't go on tour?
I've got one that and a couple that I used all the way through Thin Lizzy, 57 and 59 Les Paul that I don't take out on the road with me anymore, just for kind of insurance reasons. But my main guitar now that I use is a Les Paul Access, which has got the Floyd Rose arm built into the Les Paul itself, which is a first. Les Paul was that guitar that they didn't want to have anything to do with the old whammy bar or Floyd Roses or whatever, and they finally came up with a system on their guitars where the Access is a little bit thinner than the usual Les Paul, and a little bit flatter on the face. So they were able to get that Les Paul in there and get it in, or the Floyd Rose, and get it in there in the right way. So I fell in love with that guitar. I've got 4 or 5 of them. So I guess you could say I like them.
Hey, Scott, I want to go back to something you had said earlier about how when America catches up to how Europe feels about Black Star Riders. I'm a big fan of you guys and bands like Blackstone Cherry and these bands, and they come to Europe and they're playing to thousands and thousands of people. And then they come to the U.S. and you guys are playing to 1,500-seat clubs. Why do you think that is? I mean, because I still think there's a big, a big fan, people out there who love good rock and roll. I just don't understand what's holding it down.
Right. You would have thought, well, if one country likes you so much, what's the difference? I mean, we all love rock music, exactly the same as everybody else. What makes you so popular in that country and not quite so popular in that country over there? Mm-hmm. So we had the same thing in Thin Lizzy. My joke was when we used to tour in Thin Lizzy, we were great. As long as you could see the water, you could see ocean, great. As soon as you went inland, that's where we had our problems, and then we had to jump on somebody else's tour. I wish I knew the answer to that. I'd say I'd bottle it up, but then something. I don't think there's an actual true answer to that one, rather than, because it can't be sound, can it? It can't be purely from the style or sound of music, because there's just too many bands on both sides of the ocean who are so diverse, and some of them make it here and some of them make it there. I just don't know. I wish I had a really great answer for that one. I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay. So we haven't had a chance to listen to the whole album, but you obviously know everything that's on there. Is there any chance there's a track there that's featuring the cowbell?
That features the cowbell?
Yeah, like Hoodoo Voodoo, man.
Right.
From the first album.
Well, there was one that I wrote with my nephew, Jesse Siebenberg, underneath the Afterglow. And when we first demoed it, we were slamming that cowbell. But for some reason, when we got it into the studio, and I said, "Come on, guys, get that cowbell up." I saw the faces on everybody, and everybody was really kind of anti-cowbell. So you can hear a little bit on there, but it's pretty well buried. I had to fight for any of it to get on there at all. But
that's how you break through in Wisconsin.
That's funny, man.
That's how you break through in Wisconsin. Got to throw some cowbell. Throw some cowbell on it.
See, I should have had you in the studio in January.
Hell yeah.
Well, Scott, we really do appreciate your time, and we do hope that you come back over to the States, because we'd love to see you again, and we wish you all the success on this new album called Another State of Grace. And we've got the whole Thin Lizzy catalog. We've got the whole Black Star Rider catalog. So we always let our guest pick the song going out of the interview. So what would you like us to play here?
Well, there's two of them off the new Black Star Riders album. There's the title track, Another State of Grace. But there's a ballad on the album that I so love. It's called Why Do You Love Your Guns, right? And it's a pretty poignant song. It was written because of the school shootings in America that really affected all of us, right? But Ricky, he's got kids. He lives in Los Angeles now. He's from Belfast. Grew up in the whole IRA era of Northern Ireland, but he sees what is happening in America. It affects him because he looks at his kids every day, and that's hence the song Why Do You Love Your Guns. He just doesn't understand that about Americans, why that Second Amendment is just so important to a lot of people in America. But I don't want to get political here, but the song itself, I really do love the song. I think it's a really cool song.
All right, well, we're going to let our rock and metal revivalist take a listen to some new Black Star Riders. And Scott Gorham, you are always welcome back here on Rock and Metal Revival.
Thank you, guys. And I just want to say to everybody in America, I hope we do at some point, we're able to come over to play for you, and hopefully that's going to be sooner rather than later.